Drives it in, the header! We are level! City on 3, 1, 2, 3. After an inaugural USL Championship season that saw Detroit City FC advance all the way to the playoffs, we are back here at historic Keyworth Stadium for the home openers. Detroit City FC plays host to Indy 11 alongside my broadcast partner John Krieger. My name is Neil Rule, and John, it's about 45 degrees, it's about 40-mile-per-hour winds, but for the fans here at Keyworth, we know one thing. That's good enough for them.
Happy New Year, partner. And you know what? The best supporters in sports, showing why right now the weather doesn't matter, the wind doesn't matter. It's soccer time. DCFC back in Detroit.
Absolutely, and Detroit City FC coming back into town on the heels of a big 3-1 win at El Paso as we take a look at our players to watch. And for DCFC, Maxi Rodriguez from outside the 18 hit an absolute banger.
Took him most of the season to score from outside the penalty area last year. Not so this time. Second match in, a banger to get the win, but also controlling midfield. That's why he's on the team of the week this week in USL Championship.
And on the other side for Indy 11, they stunned a lot of people as well, getting the point in a draw at Tampa Bay. And it was Aiden Quinn who did the job late in that match. This is not the same Indy 11 side that we saw last year that failed to make the playoffs.
No, ownership has decided to get competitive quick, and they've gone out and gotten some of the most experienced players in the league. Quinn is one of them. There'll be a challenge today.
The fans are ready. We are ready. When we come back, of course, we will kick it. Detroit City FC, Indy 11, coming up next.
Let's do it.
Come on, Dad, get me.
Ooh, nice play. All right, go. There we go.
So cute.
At Ally, we're helping millions save more for the things that matter most to them. Whatever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Get back to work.
At DMC's Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, we help you get back in the water, in the paint, on your bike, or just on your feet. Our team of therapists brings skill, experience, and advanced technology to your personal recovery plan. For any challenge, great or small, at over 20 locations. Ask your doctor for a prescription. You'll get right in, and we'll get right to work. Healthcare is better together at DMC's Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan.
DTE knows everyone has a preferred setting. Some like it cool, others warmer. Some like things slow, and others like it ASAP. Long, hot soak, or quick rinse. But whether it's a slow simmer or a fast boil, DTE makes sure that safe, reliable, cleaner natural gas is there for you, making every setting the perfect one. DTE.
There's a beer in the D for me and you. From Royal Oak to Jefferson Avenue. Grab a friend and a jersey too and chant. Chant like you give a damn. Now we're talking Detroit and Straws is spoken here.
Detroit City FC is presented by Ally, the official financial services partner of DCFC. Fago, proud to be the official pop of Detroit City. Know what's below. Visit missdig811.org before any digging project. Brew Detroit, the official craft beer of Detroit City FC. And Fort Pontchartrain, proud to be the official hotel partner of DCFC. Welcome back in historic Keyworth Stadium as we take a look at the starting 11 for Detroit City, brought to you by Detroit Medical Center. DMC, proud to be the official healthcare partner for Detroit City FC. John, what do you see?
Couple of changes. First of all, moving Connor Rutz out to the wing, going to give him room to run. The other thing, Yazzie Matthews up front. This is 2 changes from last week's win over El Paso for DCFC. Trevor James showing what he can do with a full bench to be able to juggle the lineup on a match like this.
On the other side for Indy 11, they're 11. Brought to you by Fort Pontchartrain, proud to be the official hotel partner of Detroit City. And they have moved around a lot of personnel. They gained a lot of experience in one offseason.
You know, as we were looking at this team beforehand, all 11 of their starters came to Indy by way of other USL Championship clubs. They got older, they got wiser in a hurry. They've got a competitive club. This is an experienced club. It's going to be a good match today.
So Indy 11 will have the possession first. And we are back at it here at historic Keyworth Stadium, the home opener for Le Rouge. It's squaring up with Indy 11. 45 degrees at the opening kick. Winds gusting 25 to 35 miles per hour. It's chilly. It's blustery. But we are just about ready to rock.
It's perfect soccer weather here in Detroit. And 6,000 plus expected here for our opener today. Keyworth is full and rocking.
Awaiting the whistle from Jervis Atanga, the head referee. And there you see the wind blowing the ball off the center circle.
That's the day it's going to be today, Neil.
So just get ready, everybody. As we said, 25 to 35 mile per hour winds, and we are underway. Neil Rule, John Krieger, here with you.
Let's deal right with the elephant in the room and the wind. It's going to make things a little bit different. I think that's why Trevor James set things up the way that he did. You're going to see teams realize in a hurry they're going to have to play the ball along the ground, keep it under the wind. This is kind of like playing links golf and hitting a hooded 7-iron around the course, because there will be no holding it up into the wind today.
Yannick Otto getting the start at the keeper spot for Indy 11. Long ball played ahead. Guinzotti unable to control it, but it is touched out wide. And there's the captain, Stephen Carroll, back at it again for DCFC. The longest tenured captain in all of Detroit professional sports. These teams met twice last year, obviously. Detroit City FC took the 1-0 win in the matchup at Indy. They met again later in the year on September 3rd. That was a 0-0 draw. But it was a little bit different assignment for Detroit City at that time, John. They were locking in that playoff berth, their initial season in USL Championship. Not a lot of people gave them a lot of shot to do that, but in the end, there they were.
And the goals have elevated for this year. Really, they'd like to see a home game in the playoffs at least at Keyworth Stadium. They've built a lineup, built a squad designed to spread more scoring around. They've got a couple of legitimate different options up front and a more legitimate bench to be able to change things up.
One of those options, Richard Ballard, gave chase to that one. First 5 minutes of the match presented by DMC Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine. DMC, proud to be the official healthcare provider for Detroit City FC. Pass slotted ahead. Collected nicely by Douglas Martinez. He was a late addition to this Indy 11 roster. Now he's got some MLS experience, played 25 matches for Real Salt Lake from 2019 to 2021. Also played 4 matches for the Honduras national team, scored a goal against Trinidad and Tobago in the 2020 CONCACAF Nations League. So a throw coming up for City as Jalen Robinson makes his way over. Speaking of MLS experience, one of the new faces here. He had a homegrown contract with DC United. Played 26 matches for them. And he's a guy that certainly, you talk about veteran presence. Man that's been around the block, been a part of the fabric for a very long time. That is Jalen Robinson. That was a good score by Trevor James.
Well, he has a habit of doing that, Neil, and has done that a lot for Detroit City FC, to find those players that kind of need a reboot on the career, a reset, and he can manage to piece them together and make a very good squad that, frankly, is operating within the money that he has to spend. You find those diamonds and you go make something with them.
Throw along that far touchline for City. We're into the 4th minute. Just underway, no score. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along wherever you're watching, on your television screen, tablet screen, phone screen. However you're doing it, we appreciate that you are. Ball touched up by Maxi Rodriguez. Yannick Otto will play that one back up towards midfield. And that wind that we've been talking about, as you look out at the screen, it's basically at your back. I think that's kind of the best way to put it. That's the prevailing wind. Now it'll swirl around a little bit within the stadium.
How strong is it? Well, if you're looking at your screen, you might notice that the camera angle's a little lower than it normally is here at Keyworth Stadium. Why? Because when our normal camera positions were used, the wind was trying to take the cameras for a ride, and those cameras are not light. Should tell you all you need to know about how much it's blowing out there today.
Indy 11 with some early possession. Jesus Vasquez with it, native of California. Played 3 matches for Indy 11 last year on loan from Rio Grande Valley.
Neil, it's a patient, composed start by both teams, feeling each other out. Indy 11 keeping their shape relatively well.
Ball touched by Aiden Quinn to the middle. Now a little bit of space. Blake tried to play it ahead. Instead, Matt Lewis will take that one away. Chip pass up for Rutz was intercepted. Quinn again. Swings that one. Michael Bryant denies it. And Michael Bryant, when you look at last season, John, what Detroit City was able to do in terms of making the playoffs, Michael Bryant might not have got a lot of the press, but whenever there was an injury and somebody had to slot in somewhere, didn't matter where it was, Michael Bryant was kind of that Swiss Army knife.
He's that utility glue guy. You know, you got to have that guy on the squad that can go and say, you know what, this is my role today. And he played that very well.
Budati out on the right flank. Ball whipped into the box, as much as it can be whipped in today with 40-mile-an-hour winds.
It's a good read by the City back line, staying composed there, not losing their shape, winning the aerial duel.
Vasquez touches it over to Cam Lindley. Into the middle, the veteran, Solomon Asante. Asante, 33 years old. 107 matches played with 54 goals for Phoenix Rising right through the height when Phoenix was making their run. I don't know the exact number, but it felt like they won about 300 matches in a row at home during that whole stretch.
It was an absolute fortress.
Yes, it was.
To go in there and try and get points as an opposing team.
I remember that too, especially on Dollar Beer Night. They were unbeatable on Dollar Beer Night. That ball headed away. Yazid Matthews the target. Reese Williams gave it a go, couldn't quite connect.
So one of the things to watch if a team plays the ball through the air today, Neil, is you have to read the way the wind is taking the ball without losing your shape as a back line. Because if you have a defender that steps in and steps out of that back four to try to read where the ball is in the air, what you can open up if you're not careful is a way for somebody to slip in behind and be played onside. So it's going to be very interesting to watch the back lines today, see how they keep their shape. You read the wind to not allow the attacker to chest it down and be able to shut things down defensively.
There's Ballard out on the right wing. Draws a couple of defenders, plays it across, and the wind just grabs it and takes it all the way across the pitch. And there was a good look, everybody. That's what you're dealing with out there.
And that's why today's going to be won, for my money, by a ball on the ground. The service like that, especially when you're going with the wind, is so hard to hold up. Because this is a decently played ball, and he didn't put a whole lot in there, but he just kind of put the lob wedge up, and the wind took it.
Throw along that far touchline for City. Reese Williams the target. Two defenders against him. Michael Bryant steps up to make the play. Stephen Carroll touches it back
that's
across.
a nice challenge.
Matt Lewis retreats. Like to send a special shout out to Lester Kitchen, just underwent a medical procedure. Big Detroit City fan, watches every match, trying to heal up in the hospital. Appreciate you checking into the match.
Be well, Lester.
Well, Mr. John Krieger into the 10th minute. What's your impression so far?
Early rounds of a prize fight. A couple of jabs, trying to see stick and move. Good shape by both teams.
Sends it in. Otto comes off the line, makes the grab.
Initial impressions, Neil, are it's going to be a tug of war all day. The midfield seem to match up well with each other. We haven't seen a whole lot of end-to-end action.
Michael Bryant steps through. He's called for the foul. He doesn't like it. Asante again. Indy 11, as you see on your screen, not a lot of room to maneuver out there in the northern guard section, as the foul will go against Indy 11. And remember too, we talked about the conditions. It doesn't matter to these, they are here. This team plays, they're here, period, end of story.
And it is, I'll tell you what, it is packed. You and I remember the home opener last year when it was equally as Michigan in terms of early season weather. And the crowd that's come out today, the ticket sales numbers that are expected, just shows you how much these fans love this team. Couldn't wait to get back. Oh, that's a nice cutout, and I was going to say drew a foul, and there's the foul.
This 5 minutes presented by University of Michigan Flint, offering a flexible world-class education. Find the right program at umflint.edu.
DCF's a little cautious early here, Neil, and frankly, on a day like this, that's not a bad play. Back forward.
And that will work, and it's chipped by Connor Rutz, and it's into the back of the net for a goal. And the flag is up. So wipe it off the board.
That's a replay I'm going to want to look at. I don't know that we'll have the best angle, but very quickly City had moved forward. That shows you how quickly they can move from cautious to get a man in through on goal.
Well, what you saw too, John, the wind grabbed that and held it up. And Rutz was able to get on the other side of it and get the chip. But as you said, flag was up. Jervis Atanga, the head referee. Ethan Bouget, the first assistant. Jake Brochu, the second assistant. And the fourth official is Jacob Little.
Things starting to loosen up here a little bit, Neil. We've moved past that initial, all right, what do you have and what do you have phase. City starting to try and find pathways through.
Ribion plays it back. Vasquez. City conceding some space.
I like Connor Rutz out here on the wing. He's just kind of taking different runs. He's gone inside a couple of times, scored it outside a couple of times, just giving the defenders different looks. So much of City's system relies on the wings being able to get free, and slotting right in behind Yazid Matthews up front. Richard Ballard, bit of a nuisance, giving an extra little thing for defenders to think about. He's moved around a lot in midfield, trying to free up Yazid.
Lash taken. And it finds its mark. Rebian dropped it back, and now it's headed away. Asante. There's the wind just grabbing it again. And we will get a booking, I believe. Much to the disbelief. I believe it's Yunus Boudadi. And that is the case. Boudadi, the former draft pick of LAFC, played 61 matches for Hartford the last 2 seasons. He's in the book in the 14th minute.
He might be a little hard done by on that challenge. It was certainly forceful, but part of that's the wind, because the wind takes the ball away. He can't make the play on it, and he ends up going through the body. And when you don't have the opportunity to play on the ball and you go in with a challenge like that, it gives the official all the more reason to pull the card out of the pocket. That also, however, sets the standard for bookings here.
And there's a stop made. Boy, Otto was able to climb the stairs and reach up and knock it down. But now City very dangerous inside the 18. And you see the ball boomeranging around, but we get a whistle and a stoppage. When that ball goes in the air, it is wild.
You know what it is? It's Plinko, really.
Right.
It's the old game Plinko. It just kind of gets up in the air and pinballs around. But that's twice now. City have shown they can get forward quickly.
That pass knocked down. And Douglas Martinez nearly was dangerous.
Oh, that's a great challenge. And 1v2, Reese Williams just won a battle.
Quick restart off the foul on Williams. And now we will get another booking, this time on City. Richard Ballard this time, I believe. And Ballard very animated right now.
I don't think it's much the same for him. I think he was put in a bad position because the ball squirted away and he's not able to. So there's the restart. Oh, he just lost control. That's an Indy 11 player smartly slowing up, and he's just going through the back of him.
Ballard pleading his case right now. The veteran addition for Detroit City FC played his college soccer at Indiana, won the 2012 National Championship with the Hoosiers. Ballard again on the challenge. That ball played out. This 5 minutes of the match brought to you by DTE Energy. No matter where you are in your energy efficiency journey, DTE can help. Learn more at DTEenergy.com/save energy.
So 2 players in the book 16 minutes in. Going to be very interesting how that plays later in the game in substitutions. And in the aggressiveness of a player in Ballard who can play that way.
Maxi Rodriguez just plays it down the pitch. Yannick Otto will move over.
That's a sweeper keeper move, going all the way out to play that ball all the way out there. There was no real pressure from City, but that tells you how far Udall will come out of his area to play a ball if he thinks he has that freedom. You have to keep asking questions, forcing him to stay back and not come play those balls.
Otto played 19 matches for Hartford last year, spent 3 seasons playing professionally in Germany. Pass slotted ahead. A little too much mustard on the hot dog, however, out of the reach of Guinzotti. Jalen Robinson will come over to toss it in. Kind of ruts over, wanted to move quickly. He will give way on the throw.
Indy started the match with four at the back, Neil, and now they've kind of gone into a back three a little bit with a couple in front. Matching up with City in midfield.
Some selective pressure from Indy 11. Solomon Asante made his way up. Nate Steinwasser sends it over top of everyone. Nate Steinwasser picking up where he left off last season. 82% save percentage on the year. Won the Black Arrow Award last year, the most valuable player for Detroit City FC. Was third in the USL in save percentage, played over 3,000 minutes, just under 3,000 minutes. It was pretty much death, taxes, and Nate Steinwasser at the keeper spot.
Neil, look at how far Odell is out of his area again. Now, granted, the ball's all the way up in the City attacking third, but he has ventured for most of this first half when he can, way out of his area. He's almost up by the center circle right now.
Lewis plays it up. Stephen Carroll plays it out. 50-50 ball goes through, quickly touched by Lindley. Martinez, the former Honduras national team player, will send it in. There is Udall in that way advanced line he's holding. Michael Bryant gets just enough to disrupt the flow of the play.
Nice read by Bryant there on a ball in the wind.
Asante can't settle it down. And there will be another booking. Is that Samuel Asante that will receive it? I believe it is.
It is. He is nonplussed with the decision. Confirmation, it is Asante on the yellow.
Asante makes his way back. 21 matches played for the Ghana national team. Made in the 2014 World Cup qualifiers. Maxi Rodriguez steps up to take it away. And now it's time for tonight's Fago Trivia, presented by Fago. How many matches did it take LaRouge to score a goal from outside the 18 last season? Tweet your answers to @DetroitCityFC, and you can win prizes. Get yourself a gift card for some Fago beverages.
Indy pushing very far forward right now, Neil. They're when they get the ball in possession, they're moving forward very quickly. With City's speed, especially on the wings, it leaves you vulnerable to the counter if you can get sustained possession.
Rebellion played that one wide to the right. Indy 11 switches up the angle of the attack to the right side. Ball swung in. Stephen Carroll, the captain, puts it back out.
And how easy was that? Just read it, play it out. That's a Stephen Carroll kind of play.
It looked like he had done it 1,000 times before because he's done it 1,000 times before. Pass slotted ahead, Yazzie Matthews. That's his first touch that I can remember. Ballard circles back. This 5 minutes of the match presented by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is your ticket to great Detroit City FC seats.
Aiden Quinn there showing his experience. We put him in the open for a reason. He was the reason City couldn't put that counter forward. Stepped in, forced the midfielder to play it sideways. We're going to have a foul, and it is a foul.
Connor Rutz disagrees. Rebellion still down, however. You be the judge. And Rebellion back up.
I rescind my earlier statement.
Steinwasser comes off the line. That ball was knocked down by the wind, and a rip given by Rebellion. And he almost kicks it out of the stadium.
He put it in a food truck, Neil. That went, I think, inside.
Oh, there it is, bouncing around right outside the Slows Barbecue food truck.
I mean, if I were the ball, I'd want Slows too. But, you know, got things to do here. That's a precision attack there.
There it is right there. Almost in the barbecue. Respect, too, to those couple fans that are out there in the line right now, because in about 20 minutes, there's going to be 100 people in that line, minimum.
And it's going to be warranted for that matter.
Absolutely.
All right, halfway point of the first half, Neil. We take stock. Clearly, the game plan for Indy 11 today is to try to compress Detroit City. Odell playing as far forward as he's doing. They are clearly trying to have sustained possession enough to compact City's midfield and push them back toward the City back line. The more you can do that, the more you can press your midfield forward and compact your opponent, the more you can pinch forward and create good service opportunities. And that is clearly the way on the front foot Indy 11 is trying to set things up today.
Steinwasser looking for Rutz. Rutz flicks it ahead. Robinson can't get on the end of it.
It is also a much more aggressive style of play now that Mark Lowry has had a chance to set up his system and get some players in the offseason.
Budati sends it back. This portion of our broadcast presented by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers proud to be the premier sponsor of Detroit City FC. Maxi Rodriguez.
It's a nice turn by Maxi to keep possession.
Here's Steinwasser. Drives it down the pitch on a line, just a little too spicy though, out of the reach of Michael Bryant. And again, just riding that wind. And for those of you that are just joining us, the opening kick temperature 45 degrees, the winds 25 to 30 miles an hour, gusting to 40, and they're basically at your back as you look at your screen right now. So anything that moves towards that direction is going to work its way towards that touchline, whether you want it to or not, just like that. And that's a good example of it. Well, that was great timing.
Well, they're making you look good, partner.
Absolutely. Stephen Carroll's my guy, man. He always comes through. Neil Rule, John Krieger here with you. 28th minute, 0-0. Indy 11, Detroit City FC. Little breakdown in communication. And tonight's Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers Youth Team of the Match is Detroit City FC 2010 Boys Rouge, coached by Max Canavari, as there's a giveaway by Nate Steinwasser. That shot is blocked.
Jalen Robinson getting a boot in.
Aggressive play through the midfield. And now some space for Indy 11 to work with on the right side, overlapping run. Ball sent in, Steinwasser came out. Lewis was able to play it away. And now some space on that left side. Quinn sends it in, and Nate Steinwasser goes down.
That's a good read by Steinwasser. City at 6s and 7s at the back. A couple of switches as the giveaway by Steinwasser started the whole thing out. And all of a sudden, City was scrambling to get in a better defensive position. A couple of lost assignments, and Aiden Quinn found some space, put it across, and a nice job by Nate Steinwasser with a runner coming toward the middle of the goal to go down and make that save and hold on a tough day with a skipping ball.
Michael Bryant makes his way back.
Normally resolute back line for City right now, looking a little bit frazzled here, Neil. Very aggressive play from Indy, pushing back toward that back line. A couple times they've lost their shape.
Reese Williams unable to track that one down. And let's get you tonight's Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers U Team of the Match one more time. Detroit City FC City 2010 Boys Rouge, coached by Max Cannavare and Martin De La Cruz. They went 7-1 in their fall qualifying division, putting them in the Michigan State Premier Soccer Program. Premier One, the top division in the top league for the state of Michigan. This is the first time that a City youth team has ever played in this league. So, John, you know, we've highlighted the success of the youth system here for Detroit City FC. The plan is coming together.
Well, the motto is the club you never outgrow. And so from the start, you're seeing the development moving into higher competition. It really is a testament to what DCFC wants to do as a club and developing the youth game. And 4 or 5.
Internet.
Okay.
Welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium. Apologize for the technical difficulties. Very tough weather conditions out there today. Winds whipping around 30, sometimes 40 miles per hour. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. 32nd minute, still no score. So you didn't miss a lot. Appreciate everybody's work behind the scenes today.
This has been a hard day for the crew.
Yes, it has.
And they are the best in the business. But Mother Nature has made this special when it comes to trying to put a broadcast on the air. Before we had our little respite, thanks to the winds here at Keyworth Stadium, we were talking about the youth setup, and I had the chance to speak with some middle schoolers the other day, and several young women were out there and clearly in soccer garb, and I said, well, who do you play for? Every one of them, DCFC. Wonderful to see the youth game. Oh, we're going to have a booking because people are stupid with the extracurriculars.
And that is the case. That booking. And that will go against Douglas Martinez.
So,
Stephen Carroll wanted the ball because he wanted to go, and Martinez just wouldn't allow it.
Well, first off, there was some contact, and then Stephen Carroll saying, give us the ball. And then he's going to throw the ball at Stephen Carroll, and yeah, you earned it. That's, you know, those are the bookings that can change games because it changes the way you have to play.
Right.
That you ask yourself, why? Why have the stupid moment? No need. 33 minutes into a game.
Ballard in the corner. Finds some space, Connor Rutz. Rutz a little toe poke, but too much on it.
Rare moment here where City have kind of flipped the script a little bit, Neil, and have players forward.
Yeah, this is the first we've seen of this here this afternoon into the evening.
Yeah, want to try to press here. Don't let Indy 11 get right back on the ball. The possession stats, 70% possession for Indy 11 so far today. And we've seen that manifested in how far forward they've played all afternoon.
Yazzie Matthews waits for it.
That's good control.
Collects it. Quick touch, and that whistle will sound. Another foul on Indy 11.
Starting to add up. So here's the problem with where Yazid is when he's taking that ball. In a 4-2-3-1 with three behind a single man up top, when your striker's having to come all the way, you know, between the area and almost to the center circle to get his boots on the ball, that tells you that you are compact. You've lost the battle of midfield, and you need to move forward. The further back Yazid Matthews is handling the ball, that's a victory for Indy 11.
What do you always say, John? It's a battle for real estate.
It is.
Right? Maxi Rodriguez drives one in, flutters and hangs in the air. Little makes the grab.
And the wind took it away.
Yep.
Smart decision to play it back to Steinwasser.
That throw will go to City.
So finally here, 35 minutes in, we're starting to see City move forward, kind of regain that midfield territory, starting to get more even footing. And do we have medical attention?
Not quite sure what the situation is down there. Yeah, we do have a player down on the pitch for Indy 11.
We're screened from seeing who went down, and
Rebian.
there we go, it's Rebian.
See if we can peep out what happened there. Well, he went down awkwardly. This will be the look.
Ooh.
Shoulder. Right down on that right shoulder. Rebian says he's good to go, and he is good to go because he's back out there. Maxi Rodriguez with Rutz. Rutz tried to find Ballard, couldn't connect. Reese Williams causing some issues. Back to Steinwasser. As the wind continues to whip here at Keyworth Stadium. Asante turns, chips it ahead. Steinwasser will make the grab.
So we're starting to see a bit of an ancillary reaction to some of the early fouls that we saw called, Neil. You're starting to see more players going to ground. When you had some early fouls called, a couple of early bookings assessed by our referee today, more and more players, when you get into those 50-50 duels, somebody's ending up on the pitch.
Reese Williams, can he run it down? It's just played away. This 5 minutes of broadcast brought to you by Strategic Staffing Solutions. People powered, customer centered, community champions. Throw coming up for City. This throw will go directly into that 30+ mile/per-hour wind.
So here's an interesting chance to try to hold something up just because of the angle. If you can turn, get a kind of cross run there and provide service, and instead you lose possession.
Bryant, I think, was attempting something along those lines. That pass out was knocked down. And what will we get? We'll get a booking on Yazid Matthews now. So a yellow card to Yazid.
So far, City with Ballard in the book and Matthews in the book. In the 11 with Budati, Martinez, and Asante in the book.
Deespe went down.
Yes, he did.
But now, as we wait for play to get going again, and it does. But 5 yellow cards inside of 40 minutes of this match.
Well, these are new referees. It's pro referees here at the USL Championship level this year. And I think they will league-wide be trying to establish a standard for what you will see through the season. We may be seeing a little bit of that today.
Bryant will throw it in. Indy 11, a little over 69% of the possession. But Detroit City FC, the edge in shots.
Well, and the stats that mean more to me, actually, Neil, in terms of possession is one. But in terms of the 50-50 balls, City winning 60% of the balls in the air and 56% of the balls on the ground and overall. So when you're in those challenges, City is managing to win them. They just need to figure out a way to keep possession and move back from the way they've been compacted, because now you have 4 at the back and 4 across the midfield. It's a 4-4-2 City's running right now, moving away from that 4-2-3-1.
Backheel pass played away by Tommy McCabe. McCabe, another former MLS draft pick, 29th overall by FC Cincinnati back in the 2019 MLS Super Draft. Played college soccer at Notre Dame. McCabe will send that one over the line. Final 5 minutes of the first half brought to you by Ally. Ally, proud to be the official financial services partner of DCFC. Learn more at ally.com.
And again, look at how far out Udall comes to play that ball.
Quinn will drive that pass towards the right touch line. Martinez, playing on a yellow card, settled it down. Played right back out by City. Given away, however, by Yazid Matthews.
Neil, 41 minutes in, this one has all the makings of a 1-0. Just so much energy being expended by both sides. City's defense resolute at the moment, but they've got to get some possession and give the back line a chance to rest a little bit.
Yazid Matthews takes it nicely. Quick touch pass by McCabe. Overlapping run by Bryant. Instead, City goes the other way. And they will get a throw. Solomon Asante doesn't like the ruling. Lindley surveys the scene. Udall. Indy 11 very deliberate right now through the middle. Here's Quinn. Martinez, quick touch. Heavy touch, however. Budati couldn't get on the other side of it.
Indy 11 moved very quickly there. You were right. They were very deliberate, and then all of a sudden somebody hit the go button. But on this windy day, things are going to run away from players.
Steinwasser will line it up. Skips it up ahead, but it went right at Jack Blake. And Jack Blake couldn't believe it because he saw it go off of his shin right across the touchline. Reese Williams tries to turn. It's cut off nicely by Budati, and Williams called for the foul. Looked to be a good call there.
Yep. Physical battle, and Yazid just kind of brought the arm around and committed the foul.
Vasquez swings it back. Asante had to be careful. Yazzie Matthews was lurking.
And that's what you have to do with City now playing with two up top and then more of a kind of a 4-4-2 look. Somebody's got to ask the questions of Udall.
And there will be 3 minutes of stoppage time. Stoppage time brought to you by Brew Detroit, the official craft beer of Detroit City FC.
You're going to see that more, by the way, with regard to first half stoppage time. I would not be surprised for our fans to see longer stoppage time this year. That's a point of emphasis on a worldwide level by the officiating leadership.
Well, I got excited at first because I thought you were going to say there's going to be more of Brew Detroit. So, you know, my default is to get excited.
That's always good. More Brew Detroit is always good. But you're going to see the clamp down on the time wasting in the debate society is that referees are being asked more and more to be more faithful to what stoppage time should be. And you should get ready for that this season.
Lindley touched it back.
Flags up. And out of play as well.
Budati went through the back of Reese Williams as well.
On a yellow card.
It was a bit aggressive, right?
You know, we say it changes games. Referees see that. The last thing you want is one of those totting up fouls.
There is Trevor James. Of course, unique spot for him to be in today. Obviously the mastermind of Detroit City FC, but also oversaw Indy 11 with their move to USL Championship when he was the technical director for Indy 11. I asked him about that in our weekly media availability. I said it's a good feeling though to know, you know, you played a part in it. He said you like to see him do well, but not for this 90 minutes plus. Not today, he said.
It's a good answer.
Michael Bryant swings it ahead. Make sure you stick around at the half for our feature story on the longest tenured captain in Detroit sports, Stephen Carroll. You want to catch that. Ballard the target. Wind knocks it down. Ballard had it poked away, but Jalen Robinson steps up. Beautiful feed. Connor Rutz back towards the middle, and it's off the post from Yazzie Matthews. The putback is stopped, but the flag was up.
That's twice that City have gotten in on goal. One time they put it in the back of the net and the flag goes up. When they go on the counter, it's a razor-thin margin. And Yazid Matthews denied by the post and then eventually by the flag.
And the whistle sounds. We are 45 minutes down, halfway home here at historic Keyworth Stadium. 0-0 the score. But John, Detroit City FC was buzzing a couple of times.
And that's what today is going to shape up to be. City very quick on the counter. They've shown they have the potency to get forward and try to make things happen. Just got to stay on side.
Halftime brought to you by Stroh's, because Stroh's is spoken here. So run to the fridge real quick and come back for our feature story. As we said, the longest tenured captain in Detroit sports, Stephen Carroll. Through 45, we're scoreless. This is USL Championship Soccer.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Soccer, soccer, soccer. Watch it at Detroit's premier soccer bar, the Detroit City Clubhouse. We have domestic and international. Soccer, soccer, soccer. Enjoy cold beer. Don't forget to pies. The Detroit City Clubhouse. Perfect for birthday parties and corporate events. Detroit City Clubhouse. Detroit's home for soccer, soccer, soccer.
To all the Chevy Silverado owners out there, the adventurers and the doers, thank you for making Chevy Silverado the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup.
Or GM employees with a current eligible Chevy lease can get this Silverado LT All-Star for $309 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Welcome back to halftime, brought to you by Stroh's, because Stroh's is spoken here. 45 minutes down, we are scoreless. Detroit City FC with a couple of opportunities, had a goal brought back due to an offside flag. Let's get you to our feature story. Stephen Carroll, the captain for Detroit City FC.
When I joined in, 2017, it was the Summer League, semi-pro, whatever you want to call it, MPSL. I just enjoyed it so much that summer that I wanted to come back the next summer. And you're signing a coach like Trevor James, and you just know for a fact this club is going somewhere. So I had to stay around. I had to see this through and see what was going on. So when they made those moves, I was like, there's no way I can, pass up this opportunity, especially after putting some groundwork in the summers here that, I got myself a reputation here and stuff. So I thought my days of professional soccer had been done when I left Ireland, to come to college here and stuff for that. And he gave me the opportunity straight off the bat when he did sign. I was one of the first people he called asking to return. So, having his backing and someone like his reputation ask you to keep playing for him, it was huge. It was kind of revitalised my love for soccer again. That. We left it off last year pretty well, and we had a good year last year, so just looking forward to building on that. I think obviously the expectations was last year, first of all, was to get a home playoff spot. We pushed it all the way to the end, but we didn't make it last year, so I think that's the goal for next year, is to make sure that happens for us. The main thing now is that we have a league that is going to last, and it's going to test us a lot more than everything we've done so far, because of the fact that we got to do it every year now against bigger and better players every year, and people didn't expect us to be that good, and expect us to be that difficult to play against. Even if we didn't win, there was no way people would get easy wins against us. It was tough for people to break us down, and the fact that the shock is gone now, people know us now, people know what to expect. Now we got to take it to another level, take it game by game, but also like each game is like going to be like a cup final for us. We got to take as much as we can, as often as we can.
City on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's off the post and then put in! It's the captain, Stephen Kemp!
City on 3, 1, 2, 3.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Are you serious?
You deserve that.
That's just for you. Come on, Dad, get me.
Oh, nice play. All right, here we go.
At Ally, we're helping millions of people save for their people. Whoever you're saving for, we're all better off with an Ally.
Welcome back to halftime here at historic Keyworth Stadium. 0-0 the score. Halftime brought to you by Stroh's. Let's take a look around the USL Championship and see what's popping. Just 3 weeks into a long USL Championship season, but as we take a look around at what's going on, Pittsburgh Riverhound striker Albert Dequa named the Player of the Week. He had a hat trick against Memphis. There was some Detroit City FC representation on that team of the week as well.
Maxi Rodriguez there. He got some votes for Player of the Week, but a worthy winner in Dequa there. And also, how about Bill Hamid coming in and joining Memphis 901 FC? It's going to be an interesting stopper for Eastern Conference opponents to have to contend with. And then you take a look at USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Lou City taking on Miami FC on May 13th on ESPN2. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing the way the conference races shape up this year. You don't have the two teams anymore from the MLS side. I think you're going to see top to bottom real battles for the playoff spots. That could be an interesting early season matchup.
And I know it's early in the season, but we can still take a look at the scores and everything that has been final already as we are in the midst of this week here on a Saturday afternoon into the evening. Birmingham Legion FC getting a victory, a pair of 1-1 draws. And I think, John, that Pittsburgh-Miami FC result, if you're a Detroit City fan watching, yes, as I said, it's early, but you like to see those draws because that seemed to be the mixing bowl last year in terms of the playoffs.
Absolutely. Listen, I realize we're in March, but the plain and simple fact of it, Detroit City did not host a playoff game last year. because they had draws instead of wins. If they'd taken all their draws on the season, won half of them, lost half of them, and didn't draw, they'd had a home playoff game here at Keyworth Stadium. So you take a look at those points, it plays out later in the year.
Absolutely. Late night action as well, which I'm always a big fan of. Get home flip on ESPN Plus. Sacramento Republic, San Diego Loyal SC. That's one that kind of jumps off the page at you. But Colorado Springs Switchbacks and San Antonio FC, there's a lot to choose from tonight.
Let's be real. The Western Conference is just so loaded. It was loaded last year. Remember, we had a playoff race down to the last day of the season where 5 different teams could have been in some of the playoff spaces, slots. So anytime you have that good late night viewing, it's good for soccer fans. I'm going to go home and watch it with you, partner.
Yeah, absolutely. We will do that. So let's take our final break of the halftime. Get you back to the second half of action. Detroit City FC Indy 11. Scoreless through 45 minutes. Halftime brought to you by Stroh's.
I am American Home Fitness.
I'm American Home Fitness.
I am American Home Fitness.
We are American Home Fitness.
Come to any American Home Fitness location for the hottest deals on the latest fitness equipment and accessories. American Home Fitness, Michigan's home for fitness and the official fitness equipment provider of the Detroit City Football Club.
So you should see the report in your inboxes in just 1 second.
This is what should have happened. At least 3 days before starting his project, Bob should have called 811 or went to missdig811.org to have his local utility providers locate and mark the location of buried lines in his yard. Dig safely.
Okay, so you should see your report in your inboxes now.
Call Miss Dig 811.
Soccer, soccer, soccer. Watch it at Detroit's premier soccer bar, the Detroit City Clubhouse. We have domestic and international. Soccer, soccer, soccer. Enjoy cold beer. Don't forget to pies. The Detroit City Clubhouse. Perfect for birthday parties and corporate events. Detroit City Clubhouse. Detroit's home for soccer, soccer, soccer.
There's a beer in the D for me and you. From Royal Oak to Jefferson Avenue, grab a friend and a jersey too and chant like you give a damn. I'll sing for you, city. Drink some Stroh's, alright. It's gonna be a party in Detroit. No one's sleeping tonight. Now we're talking Detroit, and Stroh's is spoken here.
Oh, it's off the post and then put in! It's the captain, Stephen Kemp!
City on 3, 1, 2, 3, City!
Welcome back inside Keyworth Stadium, getting ready to roll for the second half of action. Neil Rule, John Krieger, back with you. Halftime brought to you by Stroh's. So, John, you know, we've talked about it, right? The story of the match here in the first half. And Detroit City had a couple of opportunities. That wind, though, man, gusting 40, 45 miles per hour at times here today. It's made the offensive attack a bit of a struggle.
It has. Now, Indy 11 was going with it in the first half. We'll see how DCFC plays with it in the second. Here in the 12th minute, play over the top. Udall comes out. He realizes he's in no man's land. There's a chip into the back of the net, but the flag was up. 16 minutes on the clock, and Udall playing the sweeper keeper again and has to make a one-handed save. City trying to, again on the counter, create a chance, and that goes over top. 25 on the clock. Here's one of the better chances for Indy 11, but that one goes for a ride towards Slo's Barbecue. And then right on the stroke of halftime for the second time today, City, despite not having the lion's share of possession, nice one touch, played across. Yazid Matthews puts it off the post. He beat the keeper, he couldn't beat the post, he couldn't beat the flag, and we're scoreless.
So that is the story as we're getting ready to roll here for the second 45. And We talked about it during the USL news and notes. Yes, it's March, and yes, this is a long season. But these are the matches you look back at. We know, Detroit City fans know intimately. You look back at these matches that happened, they count the same, John.
Absolutely. These are the ones you want to put in the bank. To be fair, if we're going to sum it up, and that highlight package showed you, the lion's share of possession went to Indy 11. They held the ball. They compacted City's shape. They forced City back. You know who had the two best chances? City. And if it wasn't for a flag twice, things might be a little bit different. So a little bit of a rope-a-dope for City in the first half. Now they go with the win. We'll see how they play with Indy 11 having to go into the wind here after halftime.
So City will have the possession, and away we go. Neil Roll, John Krieger here with you at historic Keyworth Stadium. Second half of play.
City started the match in a 4-2-3-1, went a little 4-4-2 for parts of the first half. We'll see how they line up here and move forward.
Keep in mind, too, John, 5 yellow cards issued in that first half of play. So, again, a lot of guys out there on the pitch right now walking on eggshells a little bit.
And the fouls have come quick today.
Maxi Rodriguez drives it up ahead looking for Matt Lewis, who plays it towards the middle. Uddle able to make the grab.
That ends up catching practice, but boy, do I like the initiative there from City. On the jump right away, win a foul, get a set piece in the box, head it in, make Odell make a catch.
Jack Blake will drop it back. Lindley swings it across. Blake on the receive. Touched ahead. Asante with the grab.
That's a good decision by the official. Oftentimes you see those little clutches and grabs. You're not going to see a referee blow that. He had 2 hands on him, held him up, obviously. That's a good foul call.
Pretty high-level matchup there. Solomon Asante and Richard Ballard going at it. Those are 2 career pros. Asante at 33 years old, Ballard at 29. They've been through the battles.
That's a good aerial win for Indy 11 right there.
Here come Indy 11. Asante, his pass finds its mark. Indy 11 calling for a handball, and they will get it.
And they're going to get a booking.
Oh, wow. Stephen Carroll will be put in the books also.
And, ooh, Stephen doesn't normally remonstrate with the officials. He was nonplussed.
Nervous Atanga right now having a discussion with Stephen Carroll. Carroll gets the resolution.
Oh, it's Reese Williams on the yellow, not Stephen Carroll.
So there it is, Reese Williams. So Stephen Carroll taking up for his guy, which is what the captain does, right?
That's what you're supposed to do. That's a good catch. It's interesting, that booking. He must have thought that that was an intentional handball. I'm not the referee.
This 5 minutes presented by American Home Fitness. Train like a champion with equipment from American Home Fitness. Jack Blake standing over it, as is Aiden Quinn. Look for Quinn possibly. Had the late penalty last week at Indy 11, able to get a point at Tampa in week 1. Quinn steps over it. Instead, Blake lets it go, and Nate Steinwasser makes the grab.
You know, it ends up going right at Steinwasser, Neil, and you would think, well, that's catching practice. Not in this win.
No.
Nope.
It's like trying to catch a knuckleball out there.
Yep, without the benefit of a really big mitt.
Right. Reese Williams giving chase. Ballard Asante. Lindley pings it across the pitch for the switch. Some space to work in. Quinn, can he get on the end of it? He does. Quinn sends it across. It finds its mark, but it's just off the foot of Jack Blake. Boy, City got away with one there.
Blake will want that back. He will want that back. It was a stretch for him, and so not the easiest take. But here's the look. This is beautiful service on a windy day like this. Oh, the heavy touch. If he controls that anywhere near him, it's 1-0.
Boy, Douglas Martinez was standing there as well. If that ball goes anywhere but where it went,
Indy have a goal.
But they don't. And that was a good look too, John. We were just talking about that whole knuckleball effect with the wind. I believe that was Bryant, right, that went up in the air?
Yep.
For it. It wasn't where he thought it was going to be.
Nope. Complete swing and a miss.
Maxi Rodriguez taken down, and that foul will be called. Cam Lindley doesn't like it. Stephen Carroll doesn't like that. Solomon Asante was impeding his path for the restart.
And listen, Urisatonga is going to have to keep control of this match. We're starting to get to the chippy portion of the evening, and people are starting, opinions are starting to get a little more vociferous. And you got to keep control of that.
This 5 minutes of the match brought to you by the all-new Detroit City FC app. Download it now for app-exclusive video content, man of the match voting, and more. Ball swung inside the 18 over top of everyone. That will go out for a goal kick.
And Wynn just took that.
So Yannick Uddle will come out. Played his college soccer at the University of Central Florida. Didn't see too many 45-degree days with 30 to 40 mile per hour winds during his college time in Orlando, I'm guessing.
No, but this might be a German winter day.
That is true.
But not with supporters like these.
Boy, beautiful footwork by Michael Bryant. Michael Bryant still with it. Bryant lays it off. Maxi Rodriguez knocks it down. Rutz. Robinson. His cross. Played away. Ballard shot. Reese Williams. Played off the line. City dangerous again. There's Reese Williams one more time. He curls it across. Uddle makes the grab. Boy, that was all desire by Reese Williams and Michael Bryant.
Absolutely. Best passage of play for City on the day. Even better, I would say, than the 2 goals ruled out for offside, because there was sustained passing. Players creating options, getting open. You just couldn't put one past the keeper. And by the way, a pretty good catch by Uddle in that wind as well, to come out one-handed near the edge of his area.
Stephen Carroll goes down, then shoved from behind by Martinez.
Jacob Little, the 4th official, telling Stephen Carroll to calm down.
Martinez is playing on a yellow as well. He's very fortunate. That little extracurricular shove to the back. When you're already, he got a yellow in the 33rd minute. Jalen Robinson goes down. Martinez in the corner.
Didn't keep it in.
Can't keep control of it. Jalen Robinson down, and the training staff making their way out.
Stats through 53 minutes. Still the lion's share of possession for Indy 11, 68%. But City still winning the duels, still winning those battles, and have had the better chances today. And you can see now, partner, 8 minutes into the second half, we're seeing that perhaps part of Indy 11's success in possession in the first half due to the wind. And here's the play where Jalen Robinson took a little shove.
And the training staff, as we said, Maureen Lilla out right now, tending to Jalen Robinson. He gets back to his feet. Throw for City. Indy 11 able to collect it. Sante swings it out. Rebellion will send it back.
That's a pretty good cutout there for City. And a smart turn by Maxey, although that has a little too much mustard on it, getting back to Nate. And look at that thing corkscrew.
Quinn able to settle it down. Lindley. Blake. Asante. Budati. Martinez, a 1-2 with Budati. His cross makes its way through, and Matt Lewis will clean it up.
And that's a good decision by the official to let that play through. It was a very good challenge by City. Player goes over, looks at the referee, we play on.
This portion of the match brought to you by Select, celebrating its 75th anniversary. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice.
Indy starting to go back on the front foot here, Neil. Starting to compact the field of play again. Now, all of that possession has not yielded a goal for them, and City have had the better chances. But you can't play with fire like this all game.
Martinez cross. That will go out for a corner. As you see the wind just take. Speaking of the Select ball, the Select ball has been corkscrewing all afternoon long. But look at that wind. You can see it on your screen with the screens behind the goal shaking.
Players' jerseys whipping.
Yep. Nate Steinwasser directing traffic in his area. And now we'll get a whistle and a stoppage. The mixing bowl was firing up a little early before this corner.
These players know what early season points mean. And this is also Indy 11 trying to make a statement of intent. Coming in here, newer squad, experienced squad coming into a place like Keyworth.
Quinn will serve the corner. Drives it in. Cross everywhere and out for a goal kick. So it was a dangerous setup that resulted in little danger for Detroit City.
Smart here from Steinwasser. Just slow things down a bit. Let people make their way down the pitch. Half hour to go. Reset.
Robinson couldn't control it. Guinzotti did. Udall. Now City looking to force the issue a little bit. In flies Maxi Rodriguez with the press. The food court.
Yeah, that was not a miss by Maxi. That was Wynn taking it away.
Detroit City FC's back at home once again at Keyworth Stadium as they take on Rio Grande Valley FC for the first time ever here at Keyworth. Scan the QR code on your screen now and be here for it. One of the best experiences in Detroit sports. If you haven't been out yet, come on out to Keyworth, see what it's all about.
Come see us, say hi. There is nothing quite like a match day here at Keyworth Stadium.
Robinson throws it in. He'll try it again. looking for Ballard. Reese Williams. Well, that pass just out of his reach.
You know what? That's what you need to do against a keeper like Odell, who wants to come out, ask questions, make him make a play. Half an hour to go. That's a good hop, but it went away from Reese Williams. If that had continued to go out wide, he had room to run.
And as you said, now we're into this one. Neil Roll, John Krieger here with you. We're at Keyworth Stadium. Detroit City FC, their first home match. The USL Championship season this year. Cross sent in. Stephen Carroll touches it away. Couple of flourishes for Detroit City FC here in the second half, but by and large, John, Indy 11 has controlled the flavor, certainly across the last 10-ish minutes.
Well, that's what happened in the first half, though. But the thing was, if we're being honest, City had the better chances in the match. Where this comes to possibly play in Indy's favor is you keep compacting the field like this. It puts a lot of pressure. It's a lot harder to play defense than it is to be in attack, and it can wear the defense down. And so that's where this pays off for Indy.
When Douglas Martinez went down, Detroit City FC players very animated. Nate Steinwasser having a couple words with Martinez.
Let's have a look. Ooh. I'm not a referee. That's soft.
But it will be a corner for Indy 11, and Michael Bryant's reaction says it all.
It's a soft decision.
Well, they did award the foul. I was under the impression it was going to be a corner.
No,
so.
he very pointedly called that foul.
And it's sent into the box. It gets all the way through. The shot is in the back of the net. It's a goal for Indy 11. Rebellion strikes, and the roadside has the lead here in the 63rd minute.
Well, the foul pays off for them, Neil. And a very good set piece, to be honest. Kept it along the ground, snuck it through everybody. 2 runners in. Steinwasser rooted to the spot because of it. Look at Nate, doesn't move all that much. It goes through traffic. He's screened. There's 3 different Indy players who could get a boot on it. That roots Steinwasser. And City out of shape a little bit. Nobody on the posts. And they put the goal in the back of the net, and Indy 11 lead 1-0.
So the foul call results in a goal for Indy 11.
Regardless of an opinion on the decision, that was a very well executed set piece. Played in today's conditions, played just about perfectly.
Here come Indy 11 one more time. And the wind just grabs that one. And Nate Steinwasser wings it out. Here's Ballard. Reverses his course. Sends it back to Lewis. It's pretty incredible. You go to USLChampionship.com. If you open up the Match Center tab, they have the heat map of where everybody's been all along the pitch. And you can tell where the wind's blowing because all the action has taken place right up there along that far touchline. That is exactly the direction these 30 to 40 mile per hour gusts are taking the ball. Stephen Carroll pings that one out. Michael Bryant.
Well, this changes things, Neil. City can no longer afford not to be in possession. They've got to press forward. And they're going to get a free kick here.
D's pay the guilty party. A little shoulder clearance on Reese Williams. So this will be dangerous too, because City will be riding the wind with this attempt. And John, I'm telling you, Maxi Rodriguez is stepping over it. I'm not ruling it out, man.
No.
Like, if you want to give it a go, you could get home from here.
Yes, with the way it's corkscrewing in the wind, he could have a go.
Maxi Rodriguez. And we get a whistle. Will we do it again? I believe we will.
In the 11, little higher line here.
So let's do it again.
And our referee's going to step in. We have someone from Indy 11 who has a cramp. And medical attention is required.
So now the Indy 11 training staff will make their way out, and I believe Trevor James will make his first substitution. Skage Simonson will come in. And Richard Ballard will come out. So the first move of the chess pieces by Trevor James.
That serves two purposes, Neil. First of all, Ballard's on a booking.
And a reminder, the substitution brought to you by CVY. CVY, wear it, feel it, play it. Luxury performance wear.
Ballard's on the booking, so you lose that threat. Second, by bringing in Simonson, you've got two out-and-out goal scorers up top. This is a prolonged treatment for a cramp. I will give him the benefit of the doubt and say that on a windy day like this, it absolutely saps the legs out of you, you know.
So Lindley has to come out, though. So that is an advantage for Detroit City.
And if I'm the referee, I don't let him back onto the pitch until after the free kick.
Maxi Rodriguez lines it up. Wind at his back. As you can see, already moving the ball, and it hasn't been kicked yet. Maybe we'll have to get him a tee or something. I don't know. I don't know what you do.
I would say
you need a holder?
Do like the NFL where you have someone hold it, but that's a handball.
Now Maxi Rodriguez drives it in. It's cut out. McCabe goes back to Maxi Rodriguez. Leaves it for McCabe. Maxi Rodriguez slots it in, just not a lot on it. Douglas Martinez, back heel pass.
That's a great cutout by Maxi. All the way down, taking the free kick in the forward area. Tracks back, other side of midfield, and a good, clean challenge by Maxi Rodriguez. That's the same player that won 10 of 11 duels he was in last week, and that's why he's on the team of the week. That, a good, clean play.
You look at his tracking numbers, too, at the end of the match. It's always 8 miles, 10 miles.
His heat map
he's
is
out
the
there
pitch.
working. Yep.
Ooh.
Jalen Robinson couldn't control it.
He gave his all, went into the advertising board.
Stephen Carroll, send it over to Bryant. Oh, and Bryant taken down. And Martinez, who's already on a yellow card.
Is he going to get the naughty boy talking, or is he going to go?
Yeah, he's not going to go. He would, if he was going to go, it would have happened already.
Yeah, he's getting the naughty boy chat. And Stephen Carroll is asking, but why? And that is a valid question. If you're going to give out bookings on 16 minutes, let's have a look here. Ooh.
Boy, Martinez has been aggressive on that yellow card here in the second half.
That card's got to be orange now.
Throw-in coming up for City.
And the only issue with that, Neil, is if you're gonna book players on 16 minutes, and then they go and do that, well, what's your standard? So we'll watch to see how the rest of this one plays out.
And now let's get you our Fago trivia question answer. That ball along the far touchline. How many matches did it take LaRouge to score a goal from outside the 18 last season? Took 32 matches. LaRouge finally able to break through from distance away against Loudon. And now trying to break through here to level this match. The cross set in. Maxi Rodriguez can't get on the other end of it. Stephen Carroll had it played away by Martinez. Carroll drives it up ahead. Udall will make the grab.
Interesting, their officials seemed to play advantage, and then no advantage was had, and we're allowed to continue.
Lindley swings it to Vasquez. Simonson runs up for a moment. Skage Simonson just came into the match for the first time here today. Very accomplished college player. Martinez on the move. Simonson, a former MLS draft pick also. Bryant takes it away. Yazid Matthews. Ball curled along the line. Can Simonson get on the end of it? He can. Simonson shaking and baking, threads it through. Maxi Rodriguez, and the stop is made by Udall, but the flag was up anyway.
That's 3 times today City have found a way through and had a chance only to get burned by the flag. That's the back line for Indy 11 stepping up. Very good shape to do that 3 times. But that shows you how quickly, and look at this ball control from Simonson. Stands on it, turns on the afterburner, plays it through. And the touch too heavy, but that's a brilliant through ball.
Simonson played 25 matches for Loudon United last year.
I believe he had a goal here at Keyworth Stadium for Loudon United.
Was a 69th overall pick by DC United in the 2022 MLS draft. Had a goal for DC United in an exhibition match against Barron.
It's one of the off-season changes in USL Championship. DC United divesting itself from running Loudon United. They will still develop some players in the side, but you're not going to see the up and back 2-way deals.
Lewis to Robinson, 74th minute. Abdoulaye Diop looking like he will take the pitch for Detroit City. Yazid Matthews. Matthews had his foot on it, and Yazid Matthews will get the yellow. And Yazid Matthews will get the consequent red because of that second yellow.
I'm going to want another look at this, Neil.
So now Detroit City faced with a tough task that will be even tougher. And there you see the decision. Matthews playing on that yellow card he got in the 39th minute.
I don't know how much of the player he got there. Player went over top of the ball, but if you are a forward and you are on a yellow, going into a challenge like that,
that's the bottom line, John.
You don't want to make the referee have to make a decision. So, rightly or wrongly, however much or little of the player he got, your forward in a game where you're trailing 1-0 does not need to go in with a two-footed challenge, because then you put your life in the referee's hands. And he got his life taken from him, and he's off the pitch.
So Douglas Martinez will limp back towards the bench, and on the other side, Jalen Robinson will come out. And Lay Jope will come in. Substitution brought to you by CVY. CVY, wear it, feel it, play it. Luxury performance wear. And I would venture a guess Michael Lowry might end up taking Douglas Martinez out of this match because he's playing on a yellow.
And he's hot.
We're seeing Juan Tejada get loose for them. So if you're Mark Lowry, you don't want to give up your advantage. And Martinez has ran with the devil a few times on his own with his yellow card. Solomon Asante will send it back. Blake had it played away. Simonson posting up. Simonson tried to step through with it, and he does. A very physical play there by Simonson. Won the physical battle.
City player down far side. Will City play on?
Connor Rutz, they already blew the whistle.
And we're getting confirmation. You are right, partner. Douglas Martinez will play no further part. It is going to be Juan Tejada coming on, and Martinez and his orange card will be off the pitch.
Hoodle, in the meantime, will roll it out. 78th minute. City trailing 1-0. They sent that ball back to Uddle. He was deep towards that goal line. Brian Rebion, the goal scorer for Indy 11. That came in the 62nd minute. That is where we stand. That ball feathered out wide. Quinn on the move, touches it. Shot was deflected out of play. So a corner coming up. And another player down for Indy 11.
And so this is where we see the test of what will officials this year do with stoppage time. We've had a couple of cramps, we've had substitution breaks, we've had a goal, we've had balls rolling away from a free kick spot. If we're in actual stoppage time, I would say we're close to 6 or 7 minutes already. We'll see what they put on the board here in 10 minutes time.
Martinez back up again.
Well, he's being substituted so he can hot-foot it off the pitch.
So Martinez, who has been down multiple times here this afternoon, will limp his way over. And not a fan favorite right now at Keyworth.
And Trevor James is up and displeased with the way he is exiting the pitch. And the Indy 11 staff have responded to the way that Detroit City FC have responded, and no love is lost at the moment.
No. It is a heated environment out there right now.
Yeah. These two teams know what this means, even early in the season.
Juan Tejada will come on.
He's coming on with a little more speed.
He played 75 matches for the Tampa Bay Rowdies from 2019 to 2022. Made his Panamanian team national debut back in 2020.
I will give Indy 11 credit, though. When they scored, they actually went and celebrated with their own fans. A great many opponents here at Keyworth Stadium take the opportunity to go over and try to remonstrate in front of Detroit City's supporters. So I will give Indy 11 credit. After they scored their goal, they did go and celebrate in front of the folks that made the drive up from Indiana in the visitors section.
Steinwasser just trying to find a spot where the ball won't roll away because of these 40-mile-per-hour winds, and he can't. He may just hit it moving. And it's moving again on him, and finally.
And at that point, you just got to let it go.
Yeah, he sends it up. Michael Bryant tries to step through. Chips it up. Connor Rutz gave chase, couldn't track it down. Throw-in coming up now for Indy 11.
Back 5 for Indy right now, with 2 in front of it. So we are quickly becoming to the point of the afternoon where it will become a defense versus attack drill. But 11 v 10, you have a little more leeway.
Throw coming up now for City. And that whistle will go against Detroit City as well.
I think there will be some calculated play here over the last 10 minutes as Indy try to consolidate their goal lead and pick up 3 points away from home. And a win for them would be a good early season statement of intent. You go down to Tampa, you get a draw, you come in here, you get a win, you got 4 points through 2 matches. That would be a good start for Indy 11.
No question about it.
You know, haven't played your first home match of the season yet. You have 4 points in the bank if they can hold on here.
4 points in 2 of the toughest environments in USL Championship. You certainly.
Yeah, that is one that Mark Lowry would take. In fact, I would wager to say, although 11 v 10 and up a goal, you'd almost feel like it's points drop. But I think before the match with the conditions today, if you'd offered Mark Lowry a draw, he'd have snapped your hand off to go first 2 road matches in those 2 environments to come out with 2 points.
Simonson the touch. Can Williams track it down? That ball skips away.
Bryant and Tejada introducing themselves to each other. Away from the ball.
Guanzati on that left flank. Haven't really said his name a lot this afternoon. Matt Lewis tracks back. He will just escort that one over the goal line.
No more waiting over the ball now, Neil. It's a back 5 for Indy 11, 2 in front of it. City have got to press forward. Steinwasser just got to send it up. You can't worry about being vulnerable on the counter. It's press forward now. As you are wont to say, it doesn't matter if you lose 1-0 or 2-0.
That is true. And what do we have? There was a stoppage from behind the play.
And Trevor James is displeased. I think they're saying that City threw it in from too far up the pitch. And so they made him do it again.
Brian able to connect with Simonson. It's along that tight line, though.
Got to run forward. Got to ask questions. Might have got away with a handball there.
And Adrian Dispay pulled up lame as well. He might be going down to the turf.
Well, that's the chip stack they have, Neil. It just depends on whether or not the referee will put appropriate stoppage time on the clock. And now the flag is up on the far side. And hey, it's a player on the pitch.
Yep, there it is.
Well, we've got a substitution. Coming on is Harrison Robledo. And coming off will be Aiden Quinn. But that won't stop the medical staff from attending to Dee's pay.
Robledo played for the NYCFC and the FC Cincinnati academies as a youth. Played 2 matches, MLS for FC Cincinnati. Actually on loan from them right now. I brought up the fact that Dee's play kind of came up lame. And you see it right there. And this was about a minute before.
He's being escorted off the pitch. Substitution finally made. 2 minutes off the clock.
And just like that, we are in the 87th minute.
Uh-oh. Indy 11 staff coming out and having a chat with Detroit City FC staff. 4th official down there staying in between. And now we have a question over the subs, and people are going to get together. This one has gotten spicy, folks.
Dee's pay in the meantime.
This Neil is something housery of the highest order. Is what this is.
And Udall finally sends it up ahead. Dee's pay comes back in. Steinwasser goes full send. And Maxi Rodriguez, can he catch up to it? He can't quite get there. Boy, dangerous from Indy 11. Connor Rutz is trying to move forward, and City will create the turnover. But the offside flag is up.
Again.
So despite the fact that we have 45-degree temperatures and 25 to 35 mile-per-hour winds as that pass is toe poked over to Reese Williams. Now it's played out. So despite that, from a weather perspective, over 6,180 here in the house
and we've got an idiot.
Keyworth Stadium.
This is the first in my broadcasting career we have an idiot on the field.
And now security will do its job.
And we'll play on. I'll tell you
what haven't we seen today, John?
We've seen it all. You know, you and I have been doing these matches for what, 7 years now together?
Something like that.
It's our first wanton idiot on the field. Enjoy your arrest.
So throwing coming up for Indy 11. 90th minute. City up against it. Just has been no flow over the course of the last 10 minutes.
Things have become rather stagnant, and City needs to change that. Going to be very interesting to see referee checking his watch. We're going to see how much is going to go up on the board. If it's less than 7, then a disservice has been done. I think it should be 8 or 9.
Well, let's see. 9 minutes of stoppage time. Stoppage time brought to you by Brew Detroit, the official craft beer of Detroit City FC.
And we talked about that in the first half. That's a point of emphasis, Neil. That's a longer stoppage time than fans are used to, but that is correct by the official to add all of that stoppage time. That's well done by the officiating crew and proper based on the way they're being told to officiate on a worldwide level.
Now remember, in their first match of the season, Indy 11 at Tampa got a late penalty awarded to level this match. Here comes Reese Williams. City moving forward, working with 10 men. And City will get a corner. Corner kick presented by Misdig 811. Know what's below and visit misdig811.org before any digging project.
Going to be very interesting to see how this is played. You can't put it up in the wind. The wind will take it away from you. Corner's on the near side.
Corner served in, gets through, it's out.
And it'll be a goal kick.
It will be a goal kick.
And an exchange of opinions. Coming through. Ertl saying he was interfered with.
Boy, Brian nearly got on the end of that. And Odell right now taking his time.
And he's being advised to play it forward. Well, first he's being advised to put it back on the 6-yard box.
Odell drives it. Brian in a 50-50 ball climbing the back.
And that's a foul. He had both hands around him. No complaint on that decision. Absolutely correct. Now what that does is allow Indy 11 to take their time and further push things forward.
Tejada the target, but the positive for Indy 11 is it's tucked deep in the corner for the throw.
And they're going to make Michael Bryant go all the way back.
Tejada touch it off Stephen Carroll, so that'll be another throw for Indy 11.
And they've managed to just move things forward. And this is exactly how you kill off a game. Get it down on one of these corners and just ping it for throw in after throw in.
Brian able to win it. Maxi Rodriguez tried to lay it off, and Asante took it away. Asante lets it rip.
It was a quick shot. If I'm Asante, I'd take a step there. He had some space to tee that up.
Steinwasser drives it down. Joe in the mix. Said he just can't come away with it. And the flag is up. And you know what, John? Through all the tactics Indy 11 has used coming down the stretch of this match, one thing you can say, City has not been able to win the ball consistently when they get in the mix against them. And that's the biggest takeaway, I think, over the last 10 minutes of this match. City just can't obtain it to create anything.
Correct. And that is a byproduct of the experience that Indy 11 have brought in. They don't have a deep squad. The 18 that you see today is going to be
pretty much the 18
they're going to run with. But the 18 that they run with are a very experienced 18 that know how to win a lot of these situations. And we've seen that today.
Maxi Rodriguez looking for Reese Williams. Can Williams track it down? He does.
That's excellent position, though, to not allow him to turn in field.
Bryant with some space to wing one in. Simonson able to settle it down. Finds Maxi Rodriguez. Rodriguez couldn't control it.
You got to make a better touch than that. That one wasn't the wind. That was just, you got to have a better touch than that.
And remember, Detroit City FC playing with 10 men. Yazzie Matthews got a couple of yellows.
Match like this, those are your moments.
Odell goes down, much to the chagrin of the 6,100 plus here at Keyworth. You were talking about Indy 11's roster and their commitment to veterans. They have 7 players either drafted to the MLS or have played in the MLS. They flipped it overnight.
And frankly, in addition to that MLS experience, all of them have experience in this division.
Right. You got guys out there with hundreds of USL Championship matches. Solomon Asante, over 100 matches.
You learn how to grind these matches out in a situation like that. Here's an opportunity. After everything, City have a chance here.
This will be a throw with the wind. Bryant can get there, no doubt about it. Sends it in short.
And again, that's just a duel lost.
And Tejada's got Asante up there with him and finds him in some open space.
Touch a little heavy. That's going to allow City to get some numbers back.
Robledo tracked back as well, and the whistle will go against City, and Stephen Carroll will get a yellow card.
And that's professional, and yes, he pulled him back. Now, did Asante make a meal of it? Perhaps. But that was a foul. And it was a foul in a situation where he could have been in. He goes on. Carroll reaches around, puts the arm on him. Not the hardest tug ever, but you put the arm on the guy and he goes over this late. They're going to call that a professional foul.
So now Indy 11, very deliberate again. And Indy 11 will play it back and now send it towards the corner.
2 minutes to go here of the original 9 minutes of stoppage time. So now go, get that forward if you're City. And they just don't win a battle again.
Don't have the numbers. Steinwasser pings it down. And a throw coming for Indy 11, but again, it remains, John, just no consistent possession.
Nope, City, and this is not something that happens often in the Trevor James era. City's being out physical right now. And we've got a substitution, which is to serve no other purpose than to take time off the clock. Coming on is Mijak Jerome. Coming off is Solomon Asante. Asante is on a yellow.
Jerome's another guy. Played in the MLS with Sporting Kansas City. Played internationally for his home country of Haiti. Had a game-winning goal for Haiti against Grenada in the 2018 World Cup qualifiers. He played 31 matches for Indy 11 last season. So again, even when you get into that bench,
it's deep.
Grizzled veterans that have played in World Cup qualifiers and played in the MLS as well.
Last chance here. About 25 seconds of the actual stoppage time to go.
Rutz tried to flick it ahead. Tejada, and the boots were high. Offside flag up perhaps as well.
No, the assistant called a foul. The assistant flagged for the foul.
Wants Tejada to get up. And a yellow card issued.
They're bringing on the medical staff.
Did Rutz get the yellow?
Might be Simonson with the yellow.
Okay.
We'll get official confirmation in just a second.
We are into the 100th minute of this match. Restart sent up ahead. Maybe time for one last gasp here from Detroit City, perhaps.
Got to win the ball, though. They don't, it goes out of play, and that could just about do it. We'll see how much the official wants to give City the chance to play it.
Tommy McCabe touched it ahead, but then it's cleared out by Tejada.
Official doing a good job of being true to the time here. But City just can't win the ball.
Nope.
And it is Simonson with the yellow card.
Here's a chance, perhaps. Maxi Rodriguez will whip it into the wind. It's a tough ask. Does his best, drives it. Now it hangs up in the air. That's what you want. Stephen Carroll couldn't track it down. Reese Williams.
Got to get it on goal.
McCabe.
Get it in there.
He'll wing it in towards the back post. Maxi Rodriguez to cross, and the stop is made. Roy Odell saved the day for Indy 11 for now. Another missed corner kick.
Steinwash is coming up.
Know what's below. Corner kick set in. Stop made by Odell. And the final whistle sounds. And Indy 11 able to hang on to a 1-0 victory here at Keyworth.
City unhappy with the officials after the whistle. I'm not sure whether that's just on the balance of things or whether they thought that there was still a play to be made with the ball in the area. You don't normally see officials blow when there's the chance at a shot. However, we had gone well past the stoppage time. A good road win for Indy 11. They are looking like they are for real, Neil Rule.
And let's get you today's man of the match for Detroit City FC. That man, Michael Bryant. I know he's disappointed, obviously, with the result, but he has been the man of the match for Le Rouge here today. But John, just not enough control, certainly over the course of the last 15 to 20 minutes for Detroit City FC. Just couldn't quite pull it all together.
Truthfully, they had some of the best chances of the game. The only real chance that Indy 11 had was the goal that they scored. But in the end, you have to be able to win physical battles, win the ball when things get tight late. And being down to 10 men hurt them. And then not being able to win those balls hurt them even more. And Indy 11, a very professional finish to the game, played the chips they had and come out with 3 points.
So we'll take our final break. When we come back, we'll wrap this thing up for you here from Keyworth. Indy 11 hang on to a 1-0 win over Detroit City FC. We'll be back with more USL Championship soccer.
Soccer, soccer, soccer. Watch it at Detroit's premier soccer bar, the Detroit City Clubhouse. We have domestic and international. Soccer, soccer, soccer. Enjoy cold beer. Don't forget to pies, pies, pies. The Detroit City Clubhouse. Perfect for birthday parties and corporate events. Detroit City Clubhouse. Detroit's home for soccer, soccer, soccer.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like the high five strangers got. Game-winning interception. First down. Just a nice, solid tackle. If you're in arm's length, you will be swapping skin with this extrovert. You see, he knows SeatGeek got him a great deal on tickets, so he can focus on what he does best, smacking palms. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
To all the Chevy Silverado owners out there, the adventurers and the doers, thank you for making Chevy Silverado the #1 best-selling retail full-size pickup.
Or GM employees with a current eligible Chevy lease can get this Silverado LT All-Star for $309 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Back here inside at Keyworth Stadium, Indy 11 get the victory over Detroit City FC by the score of 1-0 as they celebrate with the supporters that came up from Indianapolis. Let's take a look at the highlights and how this all went down on a cold, windy, blustery day here in Keyworth. And John, you knew chances were going to be tough to come by with these 20 to 30 to 40 mile per hour winds that have been blowing all afternoon. And it was tough to really get sustained possession and to get things cracking offensively.
It was, and you saw that there with just not being able to control and sending one into the food court. Then right on the stroke of halftime, City with a great cross into the box, and Yazid Matthews puts it off the woodwork, but the flag had gone up, and that was a story for City. They created 3 different chances today that were stopped by the linesman's flag, and then Indy 11 started to use some of the possession advantage that they had. First, they get a free kick, and Nate Steinwasser makes a difficult catch. And then after, in the 50th minute, here comes Indy 11 again, provides some service across and tests Detroit City one more time. And Nate Steinwasser up to the task, but that one is one that Indy 11 would like back, and Blake will see in his nightmares. Then the goal, a beautiful set piece after a soft decision that came across, but a well-executed set piece by Indy 11. 3 or 4 different players that could have had it, rooted Steinwasser to the spot. He couldn't make the save. And in the 79th minute, Indy 11 right back at it. They won the physical battles all day. They put things in and put the ball into the side netting, but that was indicative of the way they controlled this match. Then the final gasp for Detroit City, 9th minute of stoppage time, and a man who hadn't really been pressed into service, Erdl in the Indy 11 goal, makes the one save he needed to make sure City couldn't steal a point here at home, and he wraps up all 3 points and 4 points through 2 matches for Indy 11.
And there are your match stats, and the one that matters most, 1-0 in the goal column for Indy 11. And that will wrap up our coverage here from Keyworth. So for my broadcast partner, John Krieger, my name is Neil Rule, reminding you one final time, Indy 11 gets the win, 1-0 over Detroit City FC. Thanks for watching, everybody. Well, see you later.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.